Okay, so we're with the guy, the man Noop, that man Anupam. You go by
What's good,
Anoop,
my
or is
man?
it Noop, or is it Anupam? What do you go by?
Yeah. Well, all my branding, I go by Coach Cash because that's my last name, right?
Coach Cash,
But
okay.
yeah, all my friends here in New York and back home, they all call me Noop. That's
All
what they
right,
all go with.
that.
Yeah,
All right.
Noop. They
Oh,
call me
let's
Anoop.
just
Doesn't matter.
let's call you Coach Cash then for right now.
Yeah,
But
that's the branding. That's what I go by for all my clients and stuff. So
that's what's up. So yeah, so kind of bring me through, everything that you've accomplished, man, because you've done a lot of amazing things since joining and being part of the squad. So, kind of walk us
squad,
through
squad.
where
Okay,
were,
my bad.
where were you at before joining? And then we're going to talk about your successes because you had some pretty awesome successes. You hit some
Mm-hmm.
five-figure months, some multiple five-figure months, and you had some crazy life events. So we're going to talk
Mm-hmm.
about all that today. But kind of walk us through, man. Paint us the
Mm-hmm.
picture of where you were at. I know you were working this job and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
but let's get it.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I went to University of Florida, and that's actually how I know you, right? You
Yeah.
were my freshman year RA
Yeah.
when I was a
Crazy.
little rat running around University of Florida, and you were an RA just trying to make it through. And you were actually
Yeah.
still you were working on your business. Started it was and so I went through my college and I studied aerospace engineering, and then through I went through 4.5 years of that. So from my freshman year all the way to then 4.5 years, got through the whole shebang, and then I got my job as an aerospace software engineer, and I was like, this is it. This is the end game. I was like, there's nothing really past this. I was making good money, and it was decent. Like it was like it was decently purposeful, but
Mhm.
there really wasn't a lot of satisfaction in it. I didn't find a lot of joy in it. I would kind of dread waking up for my morning meetings, et cetera, et cetera. It goes on and on. So from that point, I spent so I worked there for 2.5 years, and about a year and a half in, I honestly, since the very beginning, I was just trying to find out what can I do to try and escape this lifestyle. So I tried a whole bunch of different things, and a lot of get rich quick schemes, which they all fell flat on my face. But it was good because there were, you have to fail in order to learn. I'm a big
For
believer in
sure.
that. And so during the whole time I was training, and a lot of my friends while I was training, I was really meticulous about like my exercise and nutrition science. I really liked the niche science behind a lot of things, and a lot of my friends were telling me like, "Hey, man, you should try training people. You should try becoming a trainer." And they're like,
Mhm.
you should apply to a gym and become a trainer. And I was like, dude, if I do that though, then I'm sacrificing my time for my
Yeah.
for my money. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the right route. And I always saw during that time you posting content, since I obviously followed you since you were my RA. And I
Yeah.
always saw you posting testimonials of, people inside of the squad making some monetary amount a month, five-figure monetary amounts a month, or whatever it may be. And I was like, let me just try and give this a shot. So I joined the squad. Joined the squad in, I believe, uh, 1 year ago today. Actually, I believe I joined in December in 2021.
Mhm.
So, I guess like a year and a month ago at this point. So I joined in December 2021, and at that point, it was the hardest decision I ever made because it was basically my entire savings account. I actually didn't even have enough money in my savings account, and I literally went and swiped that Amex. I was like, "I bet, let's just run it,"
Yeah. Let's get
and
it.
yeah, let's just get it. And yeah, I went 3 months inside of the squad, which is how long the commitment was. And during those 3 months, mind you, before this, I'd never had any experience ever training anyone. I wasn't even an
Nothing.
in-person trainer, nothing. I was
Fresh.
just a
No
coach. I was
certification, no nothing.
no certification, no nothing. I was just a guy who codes, who liked to train. That's literally
Yeah.
all I was. I was just a little nerd. I was a little nerd, but I was
Yeah.
willing to do whatever the hell it took. And man, I remember those first few weeks in that squad, the uncomfortableness that was building up inside of me, which was good, because as an entrepreneur, you have to be willing to change. I feel like most people in this world don't change, but as an entrepreneur, you have to.
Mhm.
So I went through a lot of that. I went. It was 3 months of really just learning, was what it was. I had a zero, I had a zero, and I had a zero on those months, but I knew I was learning a lot. And then once I was at the very end, so it went January, February, March, and then April, I made my first 10K month.
Mhm.
So it was either April or May. It was one of those 2 months, and I hit my first 10K month. It was 10,800, and then after that, I just hit fat momentum, and I went all the way up to a $28,000 month going into August, and then I had to ramp down because I didn't know how to hold so many clients. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
my
yeah.
main issue. And now I
It's
still
a
have
good
it.
problem.
Good problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have a bunch of people that
yeah,
I'm fulfilling right now, which is awesome. Way more. I'd rather work 80 hours doing this than I'd rather work 80 hours a week doing what I love than 10
yeah,
hours a week doing what I tolerate. So
yeah. That's good, man. That's awesome. I think it puts a lot of things into perspective. I think some really cool points that you touched on how you literally had no certification, no experience, none, nothing. You just had the passion, man. You just like you knew you loved
let's get it.
fitness. You were like you hated the situation you were in, and just like you said, you knew that you needed a change, and you created that change for yourself by investing in yourself and like basically betting on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I think one thing too, because a lot of people, we have people that come into the squad. Some people hit 10K their first month. Some people it takes a little longer, right? But
Mhm, mhm.
it's like sometimes it takes a little longer for that potential energy to build up to where you can get to that results because we give you everything you need. You know what I'm saying? For you to accomplish it, it's just a matter of you now growing into that person that can like create that success. And for some people, it takes longer. For some people, it's really quick. But for you, I like how, for some people, they're like, oh, it's more realistic because they're like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work, blah blah blah. But for you, it took you 90 days, then boom, started scaling from there. So that's super super awesome. So then, okay, for you, hit that 10K month, and you scale all the way to 28K, and then you started leveling out with everything. What about, what do we do to kind of that you found that was helpful for you in terms of getting things going regarding marketing, sales, your systems? What was it for you that was super helpful? Because I know we break everything down, but I want to hear from you. How was it for you overall and just like giving you the steps to create that success?
All right, it's a good question. So before I joined your program, I want to say that I had no business experience ever in my life. I was the type of guy that thought sales was a scam.
Hmm.
I before I joined your program, I literally thought sales was a scam. So I had a very negative connotation in my mind of what sales was, just in general, and I didn't know how to market. I did not know how to lead flow, and I had no idea how to get on a call and ask for talk to a prospect and then eventually give them my offer. So I had no idea how to do any of them. At the core principles of business, sales and marketing, you guys taught me, completely switched my mind around it. And I think that was a really, really big thing. And it's interesting enough because truthfully, when I saw my because I was trying to make my money throughout the whole thing, and maybe another person can resonate with this. But when my kind of aha moment, when I realized I could break through and actually start making sales and profits, was really my lead flow. That's really where I started to see success because I really didn't realize I was learning during the entire time the different sales and marketing strategies. You talk about the puppy principle, and then all the way from there, learning how to talk to people in the DMs, learning how to make content, and learning how to get that into a one-on-one conversation, learning how to get that into a 15-minute value call. And then, should I say these things? But
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool, cool, cool.
You're good. You're
Don't
good.
know if I'm supposed to be giving out free game like that.
It's off the
And
cuff.
then
It's off the cuff. Yeah, it's all
cool, cool,
good.
cool, cool, cool. And then, getting into a final call where you can actually give your offer. Now, my issue was the fact that, it can all be tracked by KPIs, right? You could literally track everything down to if you do this many outreaches or if you can do this many conversations, you can get this many calls. And my issue at the end of the day was really I wasn't talking to enough people on Instagram. And I think you said something in the course which really resonates with me, and I tell that to a lot of people that I talk to about my business. 'Cause a lot of people ask me like, "How the hell are you doing this?" I'm like, "I don't know. I learned. Yeah, I
Yeah.
learned from someone better than me, and then you get good at it." And
Yeah.
one of the things was, the success of your business is directly correlated to the amount of people you talk to a day,
Mm.
and I think, or the amount of phone calls you get a day, and that's something you talk about in your course, and I think that's really really true. So, once I started ramping up the lead flow and be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna talk to everyone. Literally just gonna spew, just gonna go on an onslaught. I'm gonna talk my story, and then from there, I'm gonna get get potential leads, hot leads, and then I'm gonna just go talk to all those hot leads. And it became hours of talking to people a day. Because of that, I just got an insane amount of calls. Because I got an insane amount of calls, I was getting at least one call a day, which is what we need. You talk about that in the program, like yeah, that's like baseline, I would say.
Yeah.
And then one call a day, boom. It's easy. If you have 30 calls in a month, or if you have 25 to 30 calls in a month, it's relatively simple to get 4 sales.
Yeah.
And that's all it really took to get they're all paid in fulls, right? Eventually, it would probably be like 4 to 7 in total, some monthly, some paid in fulls to get to the 10K cash, right?
Yeah.
So,
Perfect, man. I like that you had that breakthrough. And like I said, for some people, that switch comes sooner, right? For some people, it takes more time. And I think for you, I think it's great that you talk about you had this stigma of what you viewed it as, especially just starting from scratch. I think even for anything, for somebody to simply start a business endeavor from scratch and get to 10K a month is even crazy on its own. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you try to do anything out there, it takes years to even get some sort of relevant success in any capacity.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome. Now, for you, 'cause I know some people watching, they may be in positions where maybe they're in that, that job that they don't like, or maybe they're in that position where they're not making the money they want, or maybe they're in that position where they've been trying this for so long and trying to figure out like how do they truly get started and really make this successful. You
mhm,
know,
mhm.
what were some of the like things in the program that you think specifically helped you in terms of like maybe support or how we went about helping you and like teaching you what you need to do, like what was that like for you?
So you're saying specifically for people who are in that like uh they're kind of plateauing, they need to be able to break through or slash quit their job, but they're still trying to figure out how to make sure that they get over those hurdles in their
Basically
business.
just like somebody who's trying to figure out, okay, what's that next step for me to take, and then when you basically, because you've already taken that step, right? Now when they, because like for a lot of people it's like, okay, well if I take this step I'm not sure what's going to happen, right? They're unsure, okay,
Right, right, right.
what's going to
Yeah.
happen, right? So then for you, what was it that we did to kind of ease those fears to be like, hey, like we got you, like we're here to support you, like we're here to like really get you where you want to go so that
Is this
people can,
before
no,
should
like
this be before
inside, so once you
inside the
join.
program once I
Yeah.
join? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. So I think one of the biggest things, man, is the accountability systems you guys use, which is pretty solid. So one of the things that it's a mentorship that I purchased, right? And it's a really big deal. Um, you and your assistant coaches as well. So I think one of the things you guys do really well is just consistent outreach. So you have a system within there where people basically go in and vote on like how you're doing. Like, are you doing green, red, or yellow? And if people are doing red, obviously outreach. But even if people are doing green or people don't even respond to that, I think it's just a solid method, a system that you put into place to basically outreach to your clients all the time, which is actually something I'm trying to get better at within my own business, which is
Mhm.
interesting enough because I think about in my business, what am I doing? How can I maximize the fulfillment of my clients, right? And I think one of the things, especially as a fitness coach, I think accountability is even more and more impressive, more and more important because the business coaching, I don't want to get too much on a tangent, but I think the accountability systems are really, really solid. It's easy for people to get distraught. It's easy for them to lose momentum. It's easy for them to get scared. It's easy for them to get unmotivated. And I think just a consistent amount of you talking personally to people is solid, as well as the office hours that you do. So the
Yeah.
office hours are really great. I feel like people don't utilize office hours as much as they should, but I think that they are a solid tool just to get more conversation with you. And I
Yeah.
think a big part of people's success, truthfully, is I really, really do believe. I think energy is very real, and I think that a big, big reason people will succeed, or at least the people that do succeed, because obviously there's not 100% success rate, right? But the people that do succeed generally spend the most time with you. And I think the more time that they spend with you voluntarily, the more they try to think like you, the more they try
Mhm.
to level up like you. And that's something that I tried to do. And so it's good on your end that you actually go out to the people, because you going out to the people makes them not have to go through the hard choices of, damn, let me
Yeah.
go to this call, damn,
Yeah.
let me hit up
Yeah.
Hakeem, because they probably see you as maybe you're like a high status figure. They don't want to bother your time a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though they pay lots of money, people just naturally think that. So it's really good on you to actually go out and talk to people, you
Get things in
assistant
place.
coaches, whoever may be, and really just ease their minds and help tell
Cool.
them, yo, let's get it.
Yeah, because I think support's a big thing. At the end of the day, you're gonna need the support, you're gonna need the accountability. We give you the guidance and the strategy step by step. That's already there for you with the marketing, the sales, and just like the systems. But it's really, I think, at the end of the day, it's like you can have all the best systems in the world, the best marketing, the best strategies, but if you don't have somebody that's there, like helping you through that when things aren't going as you want them to, then like you can easily fall apart, just like with fitness, you know what I'm saying? Like you can have the
Yeah,
best plan in
facts.
the world, you can create literally the best plan, and a lot of people, I'm sure you've had clients where you give them the literally everything they need, and then boom, they don't actually follow through and do the actual thing, or they don't follow through
Oh
on
yeah.
taking up your support and your advice, and they fall off.
Yeah,
So
it's a big deal, and something I'm trying to get better at every day.
yeah, so that's the thing. So love it, my man. So to wrap it up, then I guess, what are some amazing things that you've done since joining? 'Cause I remember you joined. I think you moved. You were at a place
Yeah.
before. Obviously, you left your job. But what are some just like life things that you've done? Have you been traveling more? Like, what's been going on for you, like personally?
Yeah, man. So I mean, I quit my job, and my job, we'll start right there. But my job was restricting me to a singular location. So once I quit my job once I made equal or more amount of money to that paying job, and I quit it in I believe I quit it about 4 months ago. At this point, I think I quit it in October or September.
Yeah,
And I just quit it. I just said it was a little bit impulsive, a little bit, but
that's fine.
just because I could have been doing that and this at the same time. However, I am way, 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 way happier with my decision doing this now. It doesn't
Yeah,
the money to me doesn't supersede the freedom and
yeah,
the time, right? That's why we make money. And so with the money that I have now and the fulfillment and satisfaction, I was able to quit my job. I was able to get out of my restricted location. I was able to move to one of the most expensive cities inside of the inside, I was about to say United States, but inside of the US. And I'm
yeah,
I'm living here in Manhattan, literally in a really, really nice neighborhood of Manhattan with some really, really cool people. I've been able to travel. I've gone to the West Coast, I've gone hiking. I've just gone back to my dad's home in Miami. I've the nowhere really outside of the states, but that'll come very, very soon now that I
yeah,
have this freedom and everything. I can like I could by all means get off my butt right now and go fly to
going.
Italy, go
Yeah,
fly to France. It doesn't matter. I could do whatever I want now.
yeah,
Do I want to? Not really. I like my business. I really, really like putting all my energy and time into the
yeah.
business. I'm just that type of guy. So,
That's good.
but if I wanted to, I could absolutely do that, man. Yeah, my
Yeah,
friends talk to me differently. A lot of my friends literally are like, "Yo, how did you do this?"
yeah.
And it's funny, man, because at first people are like, "Dude, why are you quitting your job?" And then it quickly switches to, "Damn, man, how are you doing this?"
How do you do that? I want to do that
I want to
too.
do that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
for real, man. And people have actually like pitched to me, being like, "Hey, man, I'll pay you to teach me." And
yeah,
I don't feel like I'm truly that qualified yet to teach people, but who knows, man? But it's crazy.
that's
So
good.
the status level up is amazing. The lifestyle level up is amazing. I think at the core of it, though, I've always stuck to who I truly am, and my principles will always supersede, any lifestyle inflation I ever put into myself. But if I wanted to, man, I could go live in
Yeah.
Bali.
No, that's true. That's true. Because I know some people want to go travel and do a lot of things, which is fine. Right. But I think
Yeah.
once you really get into business and it's like your own, like you really like you just want to like make it the best as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, it's
So
my crack. It's my
exactly.
addiction. My addiction.
Dope. All right, man. Well, hey, it's been an awesome pleasure, helping you and coaching you with everything. And I know somebody's probably out there watching this video, thinking about, okay, should they move forward or what should they do? Maybe have a call set up. What would be your last like little piece of advice for somebody, that's like on the fence, or maybe they're not sure, maybe they're just like, what should I do? Blah blah blah. Like, what would be like the last like little tidbit of wisdom that you'd probably say to them? Like, what would that be like for you?
To help them push them further to make that decision to just join the program.
Yeah, if that's something that they're interested in, what
Yeah,
would
yeah,
that
yeah.
decision be like for them?
So I'd say at the end of the day, if you want to be able to level up and you want to be able to level up quick, you need to be able to find a mentor. At the end of the day, choosing the right mentor is the hard question. I feel like a lot of people, the main reason they won't say yes is because they feel like there might be a better choice out there because there are so many business mentors. And I just want to tell those people, maybe. There are, but I'm a proof of someone who's gone through the program, who's done the walk, came from nothing, got to where I am today. The team's program works, and it worked really, really well for me. The accountability systems are in there are really solid, and I think everybody chooses a mentor for two reasons: for expertise and trust.
Mhm.
So Hakeem has expertise. He has everything listed out in his course and in the program, everything that you need to know. And at the end of the day, it's like, can I trust this person? Because you can be the smartest human being in the world with the most expertise, but you can still scam people. I can tell you right now, this is not a scam. You can definitely trust Akeem, like he's your dad. Literally, he'll reach
Yeah.
out to you. He'll to help you out any day you want. He helped me out, and at the end of the day, if you hear a number that's said that as a price point in order to join a program, and it's a number that may scare you, one, I'll tell you that there are other programs that are way more expensive, and two, that I'll tell you that if a price scares you, it's probably a good thing. Because a very big reason that people see success in a program like this is because there is also financial motivation behind it. If you invest a certain amount, and I tell this also to people who join my coaching as well, I'm like, if you
Right.
invest this much, it kind of ensures your success, right? So, because people, if you imagine if people invested $0, they'll never do any of the work, right?
Exactly.
So if you're someone who's on the fence, thinking about joining, whatever it may be, you don't know how expensive it may be, you don't know what the coaching may be like, it's very worth it. It's the best investment I've ever made in my entire life. And yeah, there may be better coach. There may be better coaches. They're
Maybe.
probably more expensive, and none of them will hold. Yeah, and maybe, and none of them will help you like Hakeem and his coach as well.
100%, man. I appreciate that a
Yeah,
ton. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody, whether someone may be better or not, it's a matter of like personal preference and who they align with more. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely,
Um,
exactly. I should have said that as well.
yeah. So I don't really look at anything as, oh, this person is better, because at the end of the day, everybody's just, we're helping people achieve results. You know what I'm saying? I sort of more so look at it as, hey, like maybe I align with you more, maybe I don't align with you more. Maybe you don't like my energy, me going like all over the place. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, I don't care about this Hakeem guy.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
maybe you really do resonate that I'm a very simple, minimalistic guy that's just like good on energy and wants to like, actually help you. And maybe some people align with that more. So that's how I like to put it. But no, man, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And hey, if you're watching this video and we have a call coming up, or you're, looking to be a part of this program, whatever it is, hey, looking forward to chatting with you, or my team. And that is all. Take care and squad.